Hello, my name's Heath Lichty. I'm here today to talk to you about the weapons policy at Midland Lutheran College. The reason I am telling you about the weapons policy is because 7 friends and I have been busted for violating the weapons policy, and we don't want you to make the same mistake we did. When you want to understand why colleges are so strict about campuses, take some of these facts into consideration. In 1997 to 1998, more than 6,000 kids were busted on campuses for having weapons. So you can kind of understand why colleges are so strict to avoid a mass shooting like at Virginia Tech or Columbine. A couple of the things we're going to show you is a few different weapons, and you take into considerations which ones are allowed and not allowed on Midland Lutheran College. First one, a Nerf gun or a water gun. Automatic water gun, this one. Do you think this one's allowed in the dorms? Shoot around with your friends, screw around? Think about it. Our next gun, a pellet gun. Small BBs, not a whole lot of power. Do you think these are legal? The next one, a hunting shotgun. Even if you hunt off campus, do you think you can store this in your pickup or your dorm room? Kind of loud. Other weapons might include rifles, deer hunting rifles. One of the most common weapons that are forbidden on colleges, a handgun. Which one of these do you think are legal at Midland Lutheran College? The fact is, none of those are. Anything that even resembles a gun isn't allowed on campus. From a Nerf gun to a water gun, all the way up to airsoft, pellets, shotguns, rifles, and handguns. You can't have any of these. So remember, when storing these, the only way you can bring these to college is to take them to the security office at Midland Lutheran College located in the Olson Student Center, and we'll show you how to do that later in this video. Here are 2 violators of Midland's weapon policy. On my left, Evan. On the right, Preston. First question we have for you guys is, what have you taken away from your violation of the weapons policy? Evan?
Well, I've taken away that having anything resembling a gun that is a water gun is bad. Get rid of it.
Alright. Preston?
Well, I've learned that you really can't take things for granted around here. I know there's a student handbook. I've never read it. Should probably do that, because the weapons policy is pretty specific, and I think it was clear that we were in violation of it. However, I had never read it, and turns out that we got in trouble. And
moral of the story: read the handbook.
You should
read the handbook. Yep. Tell us a little bit about, you two both. Tell us a little bit about the punishment that you had to go through for violating the weapons policy here for your first time offense.
Let me take you back a little bit, and before we were actually given our punishments, the options included suspension and expulsion, and up to a $500
Suspension
and expulsion. Alright.
Just keep going. I'll edit it.
Expulsion and suspension, and up to a $500 fine. That was a pretty worrying time in my life, because it was a good 3 or 4 days before we found out what our punishment was. However, we were put on disciplinary probation for the entire year. Had 5 hours community service. What else? We have to make this video that all you awesome freshmen get to enjoy.
We had WAD Day.
Weapons Awareness Day. We
keep going.
And let's just say I feel like we got off decently lucky. Suspension or expulsion would have been a pretty nasty punishment, and I'm glad that we got off pretty light, decently light. A punishment is a punishment, but I'm glad that it turned out this way, and I've learned a lot from it.
What he said.
He said, alright, last part. Give your one tip, whether it's weapon related or not, to this year's incoming freshmen, starting with that one.
Just know, don't get caught with the wrong crowd sometimes. Don't be pressured into doing anything you don't want to do.
All right.
Agreed. However, I would give some advice like, go out there and meet people. You know, this is 4 years of your life that you're not going to get back unless you're a doctor and you go to school for 8 years. But just have a good time, keep it clean, and we'll see you around campus.
Here are 2 more violators of the Midland weapons policy, AJ and Joel. We've got a couple questions for you guys so you can educate our incoming freshmen on why not to violate Midland's weapon policy. First off, each of these guys have brought a little fact for you to share. AJ?
Did you know that in the U.S. there are more guns than cars?
And did you know that 18 to 20-year-olds commit 23% of gun murders each year?
So you can kind of take these facts into consideration when understanding why Midland's weapons policy is so strict. What's something that you took away from violating Midland's weapon policy?
That the rules here are kind of for a reason, and you need to make sure you pay attention to them or there's going to be consequences.
AJ?
Well, besides the punishments, probably just shouldn't break the rules, and if you can't get in trouble for breaking the rules, then you're not going to get in trouble.
What'd you have to do for your punishment?
Community service, I had to write a paper, I had to make this movie, just stuff like that.
What'd you think about the punishments as far as to what degree were they? Do you think it could have been worse? Did you get off, you know, pretty easy? Is this pretty hard? I mean...
The punishments could have been worse, but, I mean... They suck nonetheless. And
were you surprised when you found out that suspension or expulsion from college could come from violating the weapons policy?
Yeah, I was.
What about you? What did you think about overall with the weapons?
Looking at the rules, we could have gotten a lot more trouble, but they gave us a lot of busy stuff, so it was pretty much busy work, not, I don't know. I'd rather have that than get expelled, though.
Airsoft guns is a very popular sport coming up. I've heard of different stories with kids playing with them in the halls at colleges just like we were. What are some activities here at Fremont that you think kids could partake in instead of doing things that violate the weapons policy?
I mean, there's all sorts of things to do in the Fremont area. You can always go bowling, go to a mall, see a movie. Omaha is only a 20-30 minute drive away. Going to Omaha, there's all sorts of fun things to do there.
Okay. What about you?
At Fremont Lakes, we go canoeing a lot. You can go to the beach and swim. You can fish. During the winter, there's some public hunting land kind of around here if you're into that. You just gotta look it up, so.
Alright, for our incoming freshman class, what's one piece of advice that you would give them? It does not have to be weapons related, it can be anything to do with college.
I know this is said a lot, but make sure you study enough that you get your stuff done, but at the same time, have fun. Don't just sit in your room and study all the time, or people might talk about you.
What about you?
Don't take things too seriously. It's college, have fun.
Have fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, thank you guys, and we will move on to our next victims.
Just going in to check in our guns. I don't know. Any keys? What's your name? Jason Curtis.
Room number?
401 Gunderson.
Phone number?
649 1791.
Okay, I'll lock it up for you.
Alright, thank you.